You're watching the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
And thanks for joining us for the second half of The Factor Uncensored. Tonight, we're remembering the devastating effects of Hurricane Harvey. Tomorrow marks 5 years since the storm hit. Sadly, some Houstonians are still living with the damage in their own homes. Kim Vu's story is an upsetting one. She says her insurance company won't cover the cost for repairs, so she's been forced to live with the smell of mold for 5 long years. As someone battling cancer as well, that cannot be healthy for her. It's been years of waiting for insurance coverage, and she's at her breaking point.
This is a nightmare. I go through anxiety, I go through depression, I go through 2 cancer, and still nothing been resolved. And I keep telling them, the first time I told them, I say, it won't take only 2 months, resolve it so that I can get my life together, get well. No, they know that I'm sick, but seem like they enjoy to see I'm suffer. And they instead to help me, they insult me, humiliate me, and mock at me, and telling me that, do you know how to read? Do you ever go to school? You ever read the policy? I mean, this is horrible. I mean, they put insult on top of injury, and I do not appreciate it. In over 5 years, nothing been done.
And Kim, tell us some of the damage that you received during Harvey. What happened to your house?
I had water, I had mold, I had roof, I had ceiling, I had wall, I had content, I had everything. The whole house is a mess, and the whole house is stink. And I have to breathe it more for 5 years, and I telling them that I have severely allergy, please help. No, go to the Home Depot, buy a couple gallon of Bliss and clean up yourself. You don't need nothing.
Wow.
We don't pay anything related to water. I say, well, the policy say storm, hurricane, rain, lightning, vandalism. Oh, everything we say doesn't mean that we pay. You have to know how know how to read. I say, well, I don't know. I buy the policy because everybody told me this is a good policy. I pay 3 times more than the regular policy. I sell you the best policy because you elderly, you disabled, you buy this policy, you okay. You don't have to worry about anything. We take care of anything. The only thing we not cover is earthquake. That's what they told me. Mm-hmm. I give them the money. They very happy to take my money. Every year they raise up. But when the problem come, they totally change their faith. They totally change their tongue. They yell at me, they curse at me, and they treat me horrible. That's why I have to find a lawyer, there's someone to speak for me, because I don't know how to fight these people.
And it takes a toll on you, Eric. What we're seeing with Ms. Vu here, you know, it brings you to tears. If you're waiting 5 years to get coverage that you already paid for, and you can't get it, it would leave me in tears. Eric?
It's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. I see these all the time. The thing is, it's a government insurance company, and you think they do the right thing and pay their clients, but they do the exact opposite. When what's happened since 2017, they've actually lost half of their clients. I question whether they can even pay these claims. They take Mrs. Vu's money, and they never had any intent of paying her claim. They make her fight tooth and nail to get any money out of it. And she's not alone. This happens all the time. It's sad. It's disappointing. And I'm very, very upset with their government for letting its insurance do this to people. It's just wrong. It's morally wrong.
horrible situation. Many more people out there are struggling just like Ms. Vu. And they had the idea that they would pay for their insurance and they would get insurance. Unfortunately, that's not the case. We want to thank you both for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. And Ms. Vu, we're praying for you. We're wishing you the best. And Eric Dick is on the job, so hopefully he'll get it resolved for you.
Ms. Vu isn't the only one out there suffering in their home. Another homeowner shares her frustration on the other side of the break. You're watching The Factor Uncensored. And welcome back. We continue our exclusive coverage on the wait for help in the Hurricane Harvey situation that we went through 5 years ago. Trina Como lives in Southwest Houston. Harvey did a number on her roof and the interior of her home. She told me she's still waiting for insurance claims to kick in.
It's been 5 years, and it's been 5 years, of constantly trying to actually get my claim in, because I had roof damage, which also which required my inside, the interior, part to be damaged as well. As far as like flooding, leaking, I had to change out walls. It was just a mess.
And where did you get the pushback from your insurance company? Where did they say, okay, we're not paying for that?
It's been a while, but I think it was like a letter that was sent to us.
No, what did they see in your house where they drew the line and said, look, we'll pay for this, we won't pay for that? Or did they just say we're not paying for anything?
They didn't pay for anything, not anything.
And we're going to bring your attorney into this, Eric Dick, who is representing you in this 5-year-long case. So, Eric, what reason did they give Ms. Como for not wanting to pay for her roof and the damage that she had inside?
So you have to understand, this case went through an arbitration process that's in the policy. It was the appraisal process that's written for the insurance company. We had to go through that process. She named an appraiser, the insurance company named an appraiser, and as a result, it gave an award. After we got that award, then the insurance company turned around and said that there's no storm created opening. But if you look on the roof, there's all sorts of holes in the roof from debris hitting her roof. I mean, it's just sad. It goes to show you that some insurance companies like AAA, it just doesn't matter. They look for any excuse not to pay.
And Ms. Como, I'm sure, is not alone in this fight that's gone on for 5 long years.
She's not. I've seen this hundreds of times. I represented a lot of people in Hurricane Harvey and also with the winter freeze. It's really sad. A lot of the laws are written very favorable for insurance companies and not so much for consumers. And they're doing what we do what we can to get our clients paid, but it's an uphill battle. It's a difficult process.
Wouldn't they end up paying more to an attorney to fight this for 5 years than it would cost to repair her roof?
Yes. And what I've had happen, I've had insurance companies pay $100,000, $200,000 to avoid paying $30,000.
That makes no sense. Why would they do that? That just makes no fiscal sense.
Well, as a business person, I would agree with you. But here's how it works with the insurance company. They don't want people going and fighting and getting the claims paid. They're in business of making money, not paying claims. So they fight off consumers that want their claims paid.
And left in the middle are people like Trina still trying to put her life together. What kind of toll has this taken on you mentally, waiting 5 years to get your roof repaired?
Well, it's been a toll on me mentally and physically, because, you pay your hard-earned money, and I've never been late on a payment or anything of that sort. Policies paid up, but it's just the fact that, I had water leaking through the roof of my house, not knowing where it came from, had to replace floors, my walls were, damaged. It was just a mess.
And Eric, before we wrap up here, what would be your best advice to people who can't get that claim paid, whether it's Harvey, the winter storm, or any other natural disaster that we go through here in Texas?
I'd get an attorney early I'd right off the bat, I'd speak with an attorney, someone that knows what they're talking about. At the minimum, talk with the insurance adjuster, a PA. But I think you're wisest just right off the bat getting an attorney, because insurance companies are the business of making money, not paying out claims. When you're in a car accident, you get an attorney. When you have an insurance claim, get an attorney right off the bat.
All right. Eric, Trina, we want to wish you the best. And Eric, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight.